All right, what's going on, guys? Young 46. I'm going to do a talk through here of Congressional. I talk you through how I play the course a little bit. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the Handcam. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Keep it, leave it. Tell me. All right, so this pin, certain places we don't want to be, certain places where it's okay. Where we don't want to be short left. Short right has some break to it. We want to try to be pin high, whether it's left or right, it's fine. Pin high, even a little long right, very easy putt. Same thing if we go directly past the pin, very easy putt. We've got 8. We're going to play that half a yard. It's 95.5 and 96.2 roughly. Right there. Worst case, we miss right at the pin here. Again, want to go pin high or above. So we pushed it out to the right, but like I said, it's not bad as long as we get pin high.
Very nice shot.
It's just short, so we're going to have a little bit of a right to lefter here. But pretty short, so should be fine. Kind of see the break here, especially when we get down here where it gets red. A little bit more break. All this is red, so you want to avoid it. If you're up here, really easy right to left putt. Here, it's almost straight, maybe left to right. Probably like the third worst spot to be, with this being first, this being second, this area third. Not a tough putt though. Should be okay. Not too bad here. Let's see. 3 feet. Aim about right there and hit this with a little bit of speed to it too. We're playing at almost 6 feet. All right. We got the left pin, front left pin here into a slight tail, which is a little bit tricky. So a couple different ways we could play this. We could try to force a 3-iron up and essentially try to land it short of the pin here, get a bounce, and end up somewhere back here. Just not much we can do in terms of stopping power here. And we can play it out to the left a little bit of it'd be a left to right putt. Play it out here, it's going to be a right to left putt. Anywhere short is ideal. But from here to about here, anywhere short in that area, really easy putt. Pass, we end up with a downhill right to lefter. So it's not a ton of easy spots here. So you got to kind of pick and choose. What we don't want to do here is hit, let's say hit an iron, and then we end up coming up short. Right, that would be really bad. I'm going to try to squeeze an iron. Like I said, it's going to be tight, and really I'm just trying to land it more on the front and then bounce back a little bit. Pushed it just a hair. It's still on an okay line, but if I lost distance, we're not going to reach the green. Yeah. Ended up losing probably 1.5 yards, 2 yards on that. That's the risk and reward. But the good news is it's a very, very makeable pitch. So this is one I'm going to be super aggressive with it. Went right over the hole. Maybe a little too aggressive with that one. So an unfortunate par, but 3-wood, I always try to avoid hitting 3-wood. 3-wood is the most untrustworthy club, hands down. Anytime I can try to squeeze a 3-iron up or whatever I can do to not hit 3-wood, I usually do. Unfortunate par in the second hole, but we've also got to remember we've got 6. So we've got eagle holes. We can get that par back. Here, I just want to avoid being in the left rough. I got plenty of room to the right. I got a little stoppage point here. It's not going to really release down too much from there. We got the back pin. Okay. So it's going to play right around 170. If I end up short, that's okay. It's not the worst putt. Long's really not bad either. There's really not too many bad spots, to be honest. Very easy green. We just have to make sure we get it on the top shelf. I don't want to leave this thing on the bottom tier. Gonna end up a little right of the pin, but distance looks pretty good. A little short. But little right to lefter, very, very easy putt. You see a little bit of bend here and then not so much here. My experience says trust. I'm not going to play a ton of break here, just a little bit. And I'm going to hit it a little over 9 feet. Should be in. That was that a little dead weight maybe. I don't know. Should have gone in a little more speed than that. But it's a birdie. Alright, so we got the left pin. We got to be careful driving it down the left-hand side, although we can take a look and see where your next shot's at in this view. It's going to be a little left to right, but not too bad. We don't have to be super aggressive down the right-hand side. We do want to leave ourselves a good angle here for the next shot. Create enough space so we don't hit the tree. That's good. It's kind of right center of the fairway here. Plenty of room. Shouldn't have any issues with the tree. So I'm going to play 5-iron here, about 97%. If I'm going to miss, again, I want to miss right so I don't hit the tree. But I feel like this is one where I can be really aggressive at the pin. I don't want to give the hole up just yet. I think that's a pretty aggressive line I'm taking right at the flag. Maybe even a little left, but we shouldn't catch the tree. Again, that's just benefit of the angle we were coming in at. Should be an easy putt, maybe a little left to righter, but we'll just jam it. I see way too many people try to play this putt at speed. And that's the last thing you want to do here. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of confidence, and once you start doing it over and over repetitiously, you'll start to get more comfortable with it. But I like to play this putt definitely with a little bit of pace to it. There's different ways I could play it. I could really jam it. I could play something that's going to go like 3-4 feet past, which probably I recommend for most people, especially if you're not comfortable playing that much pace, like really ramming it. This is just going to be something, like I said, if I miss this, it's going to go a couple feet by maybe, enough to where I'm definitely going to make the next putt. A little bit of pace, but not too much. That probably misses like right here if it does miss. All right, good win here. You can cut through the trees right here. Now, if you cut too much, you're going to hit the tree, but make sure you go full back when you're going through this tree. Be fine. Hopefully it doesn't run through the fairway, but I don't think it will with 7 miles. Honey. Easy. This is going to play about 79, so the whole slope's left to right. Now, if we're playing like 14 greens or something, I can try to get cute, maybe land it here and let it release a little bit, or just straight side spin right. A couple different ways I can play it. Into 11, though, really not going to release a ton. I could play this line, it's going to end up left. Maybe it releases down. I'll move it over just a little. Definitely a shot I want to be aggressive with. We're thinking, definitely thinking hole out here. I skipped over the hole. Really, not that the aim was wrong. It just started out right on a ding, unfortunately. So this putt, you're always going to kind of have like a curvy putt here, depending on where you're at. If you end up right here, it's going to be pretty straight, but a little hard to get there. So most likely you're going to have a bit of a bender. Same thing. I want to hit this with a little bit of pace, but not enough to where, you know, I go 5, 6, 7 feet by, and then I end up screwed for my next putt. Keep that in mind when you're hitting these putts. I'm gonna hit it about 5.5 feet or so. All right, see if we can make eagle on 6 here. Not a great win, but it won't prevent us from reaching. If anything, it might actually help us. Could result in more of a fuller 3-wood in. I try to take it down to the left side just to cut the distance down a little bit. That's going to be a pretty good number in. Definitely one we hopefully should eagle. I like to think anyway. I'm going right at the flag. Not playing a whole lot of release here. I'm just trying to fly it straight to the flag. Just like that. Sometimes you got to play release if you get a tailwind, land it back here and bounce it up, but win like that, it's going to stop pretty quick. This is one, again, you can play it a couple different ways. Normally I just jam this. I just put it right here in firm. But we'll play it kind of at speed here. Maybe not at speed, but a little bit firm. Again, like 2 feet past or so. All right, good eagle. On to the par 3. So this pin, you can play a couple different ways. You can play it long right and kick it off the hill and bring it back. So play it around here and bring it back. You can play it pin high right, maybe land it right here, pin high left. When you get long left, it gets a little more difficult. Obviously short comes down the hill. So if we want to make a mistake, we want it to be over here and long. That's kind of usually how I like to play the hole. Or I go right at the pin, think miss. So I'm going to play a little bit long and right. We're going to go long right, take it off the hill, and spin it. Might just go right at it now with that misting. Still going to get some backspin, should be okay. Not too bad, but wanted to go over here a little bit, catch that hill, and come back that way. Go for the hole out. This is a putt. I'm just gonna jam it at about 4 feet. A couple different ways you can play this drive. You can kind of play it, especially into a tailwind. I like playing it flat. I've been doing a lot lately, playing it a little more flat. Here I'm just gonna put a little bit of spin, and it should release down the hill. We won't get as big a kick, but we should get a little kick off of this. All right, this is going to be 47, 48, 49, almost a full punch, just kind of flat. Got to be careful on mistings here. This hole does not like it when you misting. Tends to accentuate it pretty good. As you can see by my misting there. Pretty good ways offline there. Another little curly little putt, but you really can't avoid it on this hole. Again, just gonna hit it firm. It's definitely not what I'm playing dead weight. Alright, so we get the tricky pin. Really, the biggest thing here, especially into a headwind, even in a tailwind, just find the fairway. Probably not going to reach the green unless you get an amazing kick and you got a 16, 17 mile an hour tailwind. So just aim for the fat part of the fairway, misting either way, and you're good. No reason to cut corners on this if you can't reach it anyway. And just find a good, comfortable layup. Here, I really don't mind going through the fairway. I'm going to try to avoid it, but if it happens, it's not the end of the world. Ends up being 20-25, you just barely go through. Still very controllable. More important to me is I want to have a 56 wedge in my hand. So I'll sacrifice being in the fairway for a little bit of rough to hit a 56 in here. I'll hit this about 95 or so. We've got a little bit of a ridge to the left, but into a right to left wind, it doesn't matter. Left to right wind, that's decent. We can bounce it here and take it off the hill. Just got to be careful. You don't want to kick too hard there. Not too bad. It's going to be a little right to left or maybe a little bit of bend to her. So good birdie there. Here, gonna spin back. If you're playing full back, it's gonna come back a little bit. So plan for that. I usually try to go maybe 1-2 yards past. If you do miss ding here, it's coming up short. Just know that. So if you are a prolific miss dinger, I would just go ahead and add 2 to 3 yards to the shot. I'm gonna choke down, hit a 3-iron about 94 to 95% along that line. Hopefully I ding it. Oh my god. Okay, so we're going to lose a lot of yards here. Yeah. Well, probably lost 6-7 yards on that. That was a really bad misting. Tough right to lefter. All right, it's got some bend to it. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm usually pretty good at making this putt. All right, that's a big one. Sometimes you need those, man. Sometimes you hit a bad shot and you just got to come up with a good putt to keep the momentum going. Good pin here. It doesn't really matter where you put in the fairway. I think it's just more about where you're comfortable. I always just tend to gravitate towards the right side, so I'm just hitting it down that way.
That's
Gotta watch coming up short here. Tendency for most people is they come up short. I'm gonna hit a little bit more of a fuller club in if I can. And you gotta watch take and spin off of this. Again, makes it kind of come up short. So I'm gonna hit 5 iron, 98, 98 and a half, somewhere in there. That's a big ding there. It should be on the flag. A little bit past, not really where you want to be, but we kind of put it within that, 10 foot range. It'll be okay, but it's got more bend. So I was trying to avoid coming up short, maybe just put a little too much pepper on it there. I do like this putt versus short because it's a little harder to read when you're down here. Versus here, the dots are a lot more consistent. Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about this putt. I hit it about 40%, maybe a little, maybe a smidge over 40. All right. Again, it wasn't a great shot, but I left myself on a much better side. Tricky one here. You can kind of cut the dog leg a little bit. 319 downhill, so this will probably, I can probably cut it a little bit more than that. I just have to tell myself to miss late. Obviously ding or miss late, but can't afford to pull it there.
That's a huge drive.
We're on 8 iron, about 95%. A lot of people, it's interesting. A lot of people tell me this hole plays short for them, which sometimes it does. Depends on the club, really. But if I come up 2 yards short here, it's not the end of the world. It's uphill putt, very straight. Even if I go 3-4 feet long, it's okay. There's really no terrible place to be. If you're within 8 foot on this hole, not bad. When you start getting 9-10 foot away, that things get a little bit ugly. A little bit of a push here. Hopefully it doesn't punish me too much. Looks like it's gonna hurt a little bit. So it was pin high, but right. So now we're talking about that range you really don't want to be in. There's gonna be a right to left or decent amount of break to it. Definitely didn't help myself there. But putt looks pretty easy, actually. I think we'll be okay. I hit this about 55% or so. Now the interesting thing is how we played it. It went from downhill 1 to 0. I'm still going to play it downhill 1. I'm just adding maybe about 1% more putting power to it. And should have added a little bit more there. A little bit more. That's one where it's kind of hard. A lot of times I like to factor in another half foot into my calculations, which I probably should have done. So that makes that, let's see. That turns that into pretty, actually a little bit more power, enough to where it definitely would have dropped had I factored that in. So a little bit of a mistake on my part there. This is one where we want to be really aggressive. We want to go for a hole. I want to try to land it long left, spin it in. I just didn't quite get it just right, but tap in here. Could have landed that a little higher on the hill too. Alright, so here we just want to find the fairway. I like hitting top. It doesn't deviate too much if I miss right or left. Biggest thing is just find the fairway. So this is a good number in. It's going to be almost a full 7, maybe a little bit more, but if I end up short, it's okay. I'm going to go full 7. Well, it actually went a little bit long, which shouldn't have happened, but okay. A good spot, easy putt, little left to right, and jam it. It's gonna hit it about 4 feet. Almost missed it. All right, one of the more difficult holes, in my opinion, on this side. Again, just got to find the fairway first and foremost, and then we worry about the second. Plenty of room to miss on the right. Always got to know where your miss is at.
That's in the garden spot.
Could be a nice full 5-iron here. Maybe it goes a little bit past, but can't go too much past. Oh, pull is not good. Not gonna like where this ends up. Yeah. Distance was good. Distance was real good. That's gonna be a snaky one. All right, we got a bender here. Oof. Okay. All about how hard you want to hit this. I think it's pretty firm, actually. Oh, a little too much heat on that one. Little too much. All right, so that's more where I should have tried to put it. That was just out of position. Unfortunately, a couple parts I've had, I've just put myself out of position really bad. But that putt was pretty makeable. I just got a little overzealous with the speed.
That's in the garden spot.
Not much we can do here. Maybe we can bump it up if we get a good bounce. But primarily just trying to set ourselves up for a good punch number here. And not put it in the bunkers.
Good ball.
We got a pretty decent bounce and we're still not going to get up on the green. Definitely want to be super aggressive, especially given where we're at right now. I feel like I've got to try to hold this. So it was a good aggressive move on it. The miss thing, not good. Easy putt though. Gonna hit inside 4 feet. Alright, so not the greatest round going, but that's okay. That's a little rough on me. This win, we're just going to hang back. Although with this pin, you could knock it down there. It's up to you. But you're not going to get down clear with this win. I'm just going to hit it about 86%. Something that's kind of close to going in the rough, but that I know for sure won't go.
That's in the garden spot.
That's pretty good. It's going to leave me with a good number in. 7 iron, take a little off. Worst case, I want to miss long because I have this hill. So if I miss a little long, even a little left, I've got side slopes, things like that. Don't want to miss right. Oh my goodness. Out of position all round feels like. If it goes long, we'll still get the bounce.
Very nice.
So it's not going to be too bad. But again, just not the shot we wanted. I like using the hill, but if you're not comfortable using the hill, I wouldn't suggest it, because if you end up here, it's. But if you watch me play this hole, majority of the time I'm going to use that slope. So here you can play a couple different ways. I've found flat to be the best way to play this draw. Obviously, we had plenty of room out to the right, so make sure we don't pull it, and then this should run for a little bit.
Good ball.
I think everybody's different, but I like playing it neutral. So this is a tricky little shot here. So the wind, I'm not even going to factor in the wind. Then we're going to take off 11, maybe even 12, makes it about 203, 204. I'm going to play a little less wind than what I'm seeing. Just try to jam a 4 iron back there. We missed on the safe side. Obviously, we really didn't want to miss ding because now it's going way offline, but might catch the hill a little bit here. Not going to release much, but not a good shot. Distance-wise, it was good, but needed to attack, especially given where we're at. 15 under, 16 under's got a shot at winning, 15 doesn't. What I'm doing here is there's two real main components of this putt. There's this part and this part. And I'm really just watching. It's kind of like a race, right? Who wins? Who's winning the race? This has winning the race, right? But the putt's not going to break as much depending on the speed, right? If I hit it really hard, this isn't going to break as much. Play a dead weight, then I'm factoring in all of that. So then I'm picturing my speed. I'm probably going to play it down to about here. I'm only thinking about, in my mind, these are only moving at 75% of the speed we're seeing. But 75%, are they even? Yeah, they're pretty close at 75%. Then I look at this, and this is just moving a hair. So I'm thinking right there. Maybe, I mean, it could be here. Again, everything's so speed dependent. I'm thinking it's right there, though. Hit this about 11.5 feet or so. And then hopefully if we read it right, which it looks like we did, drop it. All right. So not a fantastic round, 16 under. A couple of mental mistakes, bad missed dings, put myself out of position. So those are the type of things we got to think about moving forward when we play it again. Don't put ourselves in the same position. So you live and you learn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Again, let me know about the hand cam. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Do you like it? You don't like it? I don't know. Let me know. I'll see you guys next video.